Congratulations! You are officially part of the last generation of humans who can claim to be the smartest things on this planet. Enjoy it while it lasts, which is about another 12 months before artificial intelligence officially marks our species as legacy hardware. While we were all busy arguing over memes and the price of eggs, Raoul realized we're basically just the beta version of humanity, about to be patched out by a silicon-based update that doesn't need to sleep, eat, or cry over portfolio dips. He calls it the Exponential Age. I call it the Great Retirement of the Human Brain. Let's look at the blueprint of our collective obsolescence.
This is humanity's last invention or discovery. This is the biggest thing that will ever happen to us as a species. And people are still thinking in ChatGPT terms. They're not thinking about the fact that we get replaced as apex intelligence, and it's pretty close to being there now. And then before that, after that, it just becomes recursive, where it teaches itself to get better. And that's the end of our ability to do anything.
But hey, it's not all bad news. Here, David Mattin is schooling Raoul on how we're finally debugging our biology like it's a buggy piece of Windows 95 code. We're talking about GLP-1 and longevity drugs as a desperate software patch for our failing meat suits. Imagine living to 150 just so you can see Bitcoin hit $1 million while you're still priced out of the real estate market. If David is right and we stop aging, the whole social contract just evaporates. No pensions, no quiet luxury retirement, just an extra century of staring at red and green candles. A dream come true, right?
I tell you what is really, I can't get out of my mind the last few days. It's that this new study that GLP-1s lead to broad spectrum anti-aging in mice. So the GLP-1s are the kind of Ozempic style therapeutics. And yeah, just, there's been sort of talk of potential further longevity benefits from them. And this is a really high quality study just showing, as I say, like profound, very broad spectrum anti-aging properties in mice. And then it comes with the usual caveats, primarily we're not mice, but it's a really good start. And you have the prospect of a therapeutic that's been used in diabetes for I think a couple of decades. So we have a decent kind of safety profile, and the safety profile appears pretty good. It's now being used in weight loss, obviously, but there's the prospect of many of us micro-dosing GLP-1s 10 years from now, just because they prove to be a kind of miracle anti-aging drug.
Raoul found the formula for the universe. Energy plus data equals intelligence, which is just polite talk for humanity is woefully inefficient at processing reality. We're being biological friction in between. In 2026, money isn't something you earn with sweat. It's something silicon optimizes with zero emotional damage while you sleep. It's terrifying, efficient, and completely indifferent to your feelings. Welcome to the machine.
Intelligence per unit of energy. Because I think about this all the time, and it basically answers everything from evolution to technology to how the universe works, through to when I wrote that Tokenization is Everything article that just came out.
Yeah.
Now that basically it corrals capital into the process of converting energy into intelligence via the capturing of data, because these vast data marketplaces. And the more I realize it, and I've trained my ChatGPT on this whole universal code on top of the everything code, and it ties it all together, including at a macro level that, oh, by the way, why do you think technology and crypto outperform? Well, because you're corralling capital into the same formula, which is what gives you the most output of intelligence. And the world will always solve for that, because if the universe's purpose is to know itself and broaden its consciousness, then everything is a subset of that. And I think and the more you see Elon writing about the Kardashev scale, he keeps going on about it. It's like, now they're moving the data centers to space because you have no clouds and no nighttime. So it's like, I don't know, there's like a 40x more efficiency in solar from space. He's just like, yeah, we can go from a type 1 to a type 2 Kardashev scale society based on that. And it's again the same formula, is what are we trying to do it for? When you think about all of the outputs of all of the use of energy, whether it was from creating fire to cook food for humans, or whether it's solar power for the data centers for the AI.
Billions of robots are coming. And no, they aren't here to clean your kitchen. They're here to take your job, your seat at the table, and probably your investment strategy. David calls them a new demographic. They are the perfect children your parents always wanted. They don't complain, they don't take lunch breaks, and they generate pure profit. If you don't own the robot, you're just the guy who gets in their way.
And robots are demographics. I don't know if exponentialists have access to that essay. I don't know. I think they do. If they don't, we should do it. Because
I think it was a very early stage in this. I think we published it.
Yeah. That, robots are demographics is just a beautiful, simple idea that once it's been articulated to you, you're like, oh, it's so powerful. Why didn't I think of that? And it's fundamental to so much that's going to play out across the next decade or so.
Right now, the giants are in a knife fight. OpenAI is acting like a startup with bad vibes, while Google is quietly building a digital god called Gemini. Intelligence is becoming a commodity, as cheap and common as air. When everyone has an AI that can outtrade a Wall Street pro, the only thing left with any value is proof of humanity on the blockchain. Welcome to the era where being a real person is your only remaining flex.
And there's a leaked memo in the last few days. The information got hold of it from Sam Altman to his staff saying, like, things are going to be rough. There's going to be some rough vibes, is the phrase he used, around here. Because, Google is catching up with us. Like, our technological advantage is diminishing because they're doing great work over there. We're still ahead. I still believe in us, but it's not going to be easy. And they've taken $60 billion, I think, in investment, like value at a valuation of like $500 billion. But that valuation is predicated on the idea of them like continuing to dominate for years and years to come.
If you thought your privacy was gone, just wait until you're a literal packet of data on a blockchain. Raoul is about to explain how we're making the entire world machine digestible, which is just a polite way of saying we're turning reality into a 24/7 buffet for AI. Everything becomes tradable, everyone becomes a ticker symbol, and the capital markets finally hand the keys over to the silicon gods. Let's watch how the machines prepare their meal.
It's a very big idea, and that tokenization article was what I was trying to show is how the whole system is set up for this, that the inevitable outcome of everything being a token is that it all becomes machine digestible. If it's machine digestible, there is no surprise that a token in crypto land is a machine digestible packet of information. And then it tells you that, well, all tokens can be tradable, either in large, vast pools, because they're not valuable individually, or individual pieces are valuable. And therefore the capital markets will release all of the information eventually into the AI.
So, here we are. 2026 is the wall. Everything is being tokenized. Your house, your data, and probably your soul. You can either sit there and watch the exponential age run you over, or you can own a piece of the machine. Buy the robots, hold the network, and try to enjoy the sunset. Subscribe if you want to watch the old world burn with me. Or don't. The AI will probably subscribe for you anyway. Welcome to the future. It's moving faster than we can think.